Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel Tale and Such. Today we are going to take a look into Scotophobia, the newest of the source books for Shadowrun 6th edition. Scotophobia could be translated to Fear of the Dark, and it is a new meta book which will tell us many things about the new problems that occur when beings from another plane try to invade your own plane. Not exactly the coolest thing that could have happened, wouldn't it? Okay, so Scotophobia has been released some days ago, and it's got 186 pages. It's full color, of course. We've got writings from Kevin R. Czarnecki, Jim Green, Jason M. Hardy, Francis Josie, Clifton Lambert, Louis Ray, and R.J. Thomas. We've got the cover art by Victor Manuel Leza Moreno. Wow, that's a long name. And the production development was by R.J. Thomas, the new head of, the Shadowrun line. He has been made the what's the right word? Line developer. Yes, now he's a line developer. Okay, so what do we have here? We've got, of course, a big overview about the status quo, and we begin, of course, with a short story, One Last Job. This story was really, really good. It starts with a great two-sided picture, and when you read through the whole story, at the end you really know what this picture meant. It was very, very reminiscent of this picture in the first place. I really liked it. It was awesome to read, and it also gave you a look into the feel of the theme that Scotophobia wants to transfer. After this, we've got the chapter Just How Fracked Up Things Are. There we've got now in-game messages from people around the world that are trying to contact the checkpoint, and you get the feeling the shit is setting the fan now, and a new war room has been established where all information regarding the topic of Dis, or the Disians, shall be gathered by the in-game characters of the Sixth World. With these things in place, we go into the chapter Those of the Deep Dark, where we are going to take a deeper look into what exactly are the Disians, what do they want, how are they structured, what is their goal. And let me say this, the goal is quite evil. Okay, something exploded out there. Okay, strange. One of the main aims of them is the establishment of a network of mana harvesters. These are big devices that shall siphon mana from one meta plane to their home plane, and these, will in the end reduce the meta plane where these harvesters have been established into a pile of dust and erase all life from them. Yes, we now have got an enemy that really wants to destroy the whole world as we know it, in a way that nothing else will stay there. Then we take a look at the weapons of war. So what kind of creatures, magic and stuff do they field to get their things done? Nicely well. The next part, and this is split about 2 chapters in the book, is corporate activity. In these chapters, yes, plural, we see some of the mega corporations and how they do interact with the Disians. Do they support their cause? Do they stand against the cause? Do they say they support their cause but don't really support the cause? It's quite strange to see, as you really need infrastructure and support from the people from the targeted metaplane to establish those harvesters. You can say, if someone comes to you and says, "Okay, please help me. I want to kill everything on your planet, but maybe you at last," would you help him? It's really strange to read through these descriptions to realize how each of the mega corporations has their own agendas, their own ideas, their own hopes on what they can achieve by collaborating with this or the Disians. In the next chapter we go over... let's get back a minute. We also take a look at the Sealy Chord, the Unsealy Chord, and even on structures like the Zurich Orbital Gemeinschaftsbank. Although these structures are being looked at. And as far as I can tell, we've got the Sealy Chord and the Unsealy Chord, and the descriptions in here made, for me, it much clearer to understand the motivations of these fairies. Was a really good read. Yeah, the next chapter is Shining Light into the Dark, where we see those who stay against them in some kind. The Grey Cell, the Black Lodge, the Draco Foundation, the Zigul Makers. Zigul. Okay, nice name. Okay, and then the next chapter is the Corporate Activity 2, where we take a look at some of the other big ones. Well, then we've got Corporate Activity 3, but this is structured under the chapter Wildcards. They are not that structured into pro or con regarding the Disians. That's quite nice. Even we also take a look at the organized crime. We take a look into the mercenaries. We even see Ares Macrotech in this kind of chapter. And of course, what are the dragon plans? What is the real plan of the Sealy or the Unsealy Chord? How do governments interact with this? Very, very interesting. The next part is the hotspots. Hotspots and flashpoints. In this chapter, we delve into the sixth world, take a look at the continents and the potential hotspot in the area where will be harvesters created, where are harvesters, where do we know stuff about them, and how far is the influence of the Disians in the given area. The whole chapter of these hotspots made me a bit think about the XCOM game series, where you see that the influence of the aliens is growing in some parts. It's really, really bad. My personal view is, of course, a view on Europe, the look at the Free City of Berlin, and, well, also here everything is exploding. Everything is going fucked up. That's totally cool. I really like it. We've got an enemy that everyone could relate to. We've got an enemy that no one could say, well, someone else could take care of him. We've now got such a big bad evil guy that everyone can potentially see, okay, he's the evil guy, we have to do something against him. This makes so many ideas on how to run plots, how to run games in this setting, how to always take a notch up on the threat scale. It can be as threatful, as dangerous as possible. Awesome. Then we even get some mission briefs, so there's about 10 or 12, I guess, missions that you could simply take and throw at your group. These are, as we know it from these source books, with who is giving out the job, what has to be done, what are the differences, what will be the problem inside. Well, that's nice, good done, but nothing too special. But it always keeps the pace and keeps the tone of the Scotophobia, and that's cool. Now the next part is Blast Radius. Blast Radius has one of the coolest pieces of artwork in this boat. In this book, you see a boat. It's called a Noah's Ark. An orc is on the ship. He's covering his ears, and next to him is a humongous cannon. You see an explosion from the cannon. Another guy in a wingsuit being fired out of the cannon up to a yard that's some 100 yards away from the ship. This looks so funny. I really like this picture. It's awesome. Awesome. Yeah, in this chapter we take a deeper look into what happens, how are the shipment companies working together against each other, what are the great problems, as you see Wuxing and Maersk and the other big ones that ship stuff over the seas. Because, as said, you need quite big amounts of material to produce some harvesters, and if you want to do this, you have to ship. You can't rely on land travel, can't you? Yeah, the next one is the chapter The Disconnect. And this is also again a purely in-character chat box where the Shadow Talkers talk about what is the current status, what has happened from the beginning of the book to now, who is involved, who ain't, who may be dead already. After this chapter, we step into the rules of engagement. The rules of engagement is the rules chapter. We get new chimeras, as chimeras are the kind of creatures that the Disians field to enforce their power upon the world. They are badass. They are really, really badass. They are sorted into 5 categories: Psy-Ops, Spec-Ops, Infiltration, Reconnaissance and Assault, and each of them has 1 or 2 chimera types that also can be altered again. And I like the idea of fielding big bad monsters that everyone could see as a monster. And if you dive deeper into it, if you take into account what happened to the Third Yukos army, where had they gone? They had gone vanished, and, spoiler, they had been brought to this. They had been brought to this to be transformed, to be manipulated, to be made into, well, chimeras. They have been enhanced with the Disian tech, the Disian magic, and have also taken, well, we've got some problem there, something didn't work, then we make of them a mindless chimera. So even when we see the monster on the one side, on the other side we know once he was a meta-human, just like us. A guy who took the rifle to defend us, then got captured, transformed, and been thrown against us again. I like this tragic of the idea of the chimera in this. In the next chapter, we take a look at the Disian magic. The Disian magic is working quite differently from the metahuman magic, as the Disians take some kind of power pools, so they suck up mana and use this sucked up mana to generate their effects. And this makes them quite dangerous if they get to their supply of mana, because their magic attribute directly corresponds to the amount of mana they have at their hands. Also, we've got information about special initiation and meta magics from them, how their counterspelling works, which added powers they can use. If the chimeras ain't freaking you out, the Disian magics should. Although, as we have seen in the previous source books, we've got those Faustians, people that took the pact, the Faustian crystal, And now we've got some more rules regarding these. And of course, we also have rules for the Disian devices, like these mana batteries, like the portal generators, the harvesters, specialized other devices. Now we step into Warhammer territory, because now we've got powered melee weapons. Another chapter with power weapons. We've got the chained sword, we've got the vibro blade, the vibro katana. Okay, these vibro things had been in place in the 3rd edition, I guess. We've got the power hammer, the power fist, and the power maul. Okay, that's totally Warhammer stuff, but it's so cool. Of course, these are melee weapons that have to be used with energy packs, so they can't function endlessly. That's quite okay. The next chapter is Grey Mana Tech. We've now got more of this great Grey Mana Tech stuff. We've got cyber tech, like specialized armor plating that will help you defend yourself against the Disians. We've even got special alloys that they make, like for a spore or something like that. And these alloys can damage chimeras, can damage Disians better. You can make ammunition out of them, you can make all kind of close combat weapons out of them. That's tasty, I like it. Then we've got new alchemical preparations. As everyone who knows, the 6th edition is alchemical preparations do not be the very coolest thing. The rules to produce them are quite harsh. You have to spend quite amount of time to get a not so good effect. But if you buy them at the local stuffer shack and buy it from the market line of one of the big megacorps, they seem to hold quite indefinitely. Well, not that ever, but they hold quite long. Yeah, now we've got some new things like an astral jammer or a counterspell bubble. Stuff that's also cool. Stuff that I really like to throw at my players just to see how they look when this bubble explodes around them and they try to cast a spell, call the spirits, and nothing ever happens. Great. Yeah. And the end of this thing is one vehicle, an Entra drone, the Evo Mr. Grey Combat Walker vehicle, for the low price of 2.698 million nuyen, the Mr. Grey CWV. It's a big transporter with one seat. Yes, one seat. And it's meant to attack stuff, of course. We've got many hard points, RPGs, we've got large shoulder mounted weapons, we've got mini drone racks, we've got drone racks with bombs that can run around. Sadly, we don't have artwork for the Mr. Grey Combat Walker vehicle, but in my mind, it's kind of a battle mech. But well, Catalyst is owning the Battletech rights, don't they? They could! They could include them! But well, I don't think that they will. Yeah, that's Scotophobia. 186 pages of really densely packed information. It took me quite a while to read through the book, to get a hold of the book and to understand what the book means. I really like it. It takes the game to a new level. We've got an imminent threat of global world extermination. We've got a global effort to fight against these, and also imminent explosions, imminent threats, imminent attacks everywhere, always. The world is going to burn. Now we have to see if we, as runners, can help stop the fire. Yeah, Scotophobia, definitely a must read. Check it out. Links are in the bio to buy it digitally or as hard copy. You may also leave a like on the video, subscribe, join us on Patreon, join us on our Discord. Okay, on the Discord we've mostly German content, but nevertheless, come around, say hi. We will say hi too. So, have a very nice week. Take your time to read Scotophobia and, well, never, never ever do a Faustian pact. Bye bye.